what is actually networking? So what's going on here? What do you guys see?
Pit stop.
It's a pit stop, right? A pit crew. What's happening?
Servicing between laps.
Servicing between laps, changing tires, okay? What's the goal of that driver?
Get out.
Get out.
He's gonna go fast.
To go fast! To get the checkered flag. He is laser focused on what the goal is, right? To pick up that checkered flag. And he has built a team around him who understands that goal and in their very small way can do something to be able to contribute to help out. And when he has a problem, he can radio that in, right? Or somebody sees him getting off course and radio that in. He can go and he can quickly get adjusted and go back on, right? And he trusts his team and he puts a team around him that understands that goal and it gets them there, right? Nobody says, hey buddy, you shouldn't have a team that big. You shouldn't have consulted with experts, right? The race car driver, the great thing about it is that when he gets that checkered flag, who shares in that success? The whole team, right? So when you guys are successful like AFP Foundation with your goals, right? You get to share in that success. But as things maybe get a little bumpy or feedback comes in, you also are able to calibrate that, right? So this is easy. We're like, okay, networking, this is what it's all about. Okay, building this team, understanding people's goals. Sometimes I'm the driver, but probably 98% of the times in a networking situation, I'm figuring out how I can be an effective, successful person on the pit crew, just giving a little bit of help, a little bit of push, a little bit of direction, right? Assistance in any way that I can. We know this. This makes sense. There's nobody here that's like, this has gone off the rails crazy up to this point, right? But even knowing this, when we have a goal, when we have a mission, and there's something that we want to accomplish, things that we're passionate about, that we absolutely want to do, typically we go about doing it this way. All right, what's this guy up to?
He's just trying to go.
Now, this is my neighbor in Oklahoma. Just kidding. He wouldn't have the hood on if it was my neighbor. Okay, so, right? So he's riding solo. He's probably got some manual right there. That car's going to be up in the blocks a long time. He doesn't have that crew. He doesn't have all that support. He's got all the knowledge. It's all right here. So what I want to introduce you to is this concept, and you're already actively participating in it. It's called the paper plan and the people plan. The paper plan and the people plan, okay? And the paper plan is something that you're told to do all the time, right? It's just ingrained, okay? Now I should tell you, one day you'll meet me and I will completely ignore you and act like I don't know who you are, as if I'm embarrassed to have met you. And that's just because you've met my identical twin brother, okay? I have an identical twin brother who's also involved in politics. I'll reference some stories, you'll get to know him. Typically we do these trainings together. We did one yesterday in Oklahoma City for all the OG&E graduating interns, right, on how to professionally network. But he got married 2.5 years ago, and they're having their first baby boy sometime here this next week. So it would be a good idea if he was in Vegas while his wife was headed down to the hospital, right? But this idea of a paper plan is ingrained from where we're very little, right? That's it. There's the twin brother and I, okay? We had just graduated from preschool, okay? I'm Mormon. Do we have any other Mormons here? Anyone else? Okay. Little Joe. Okay. There's the Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck if, right? Kind of thing. You might be a Mormon if you have like an actual memory of one of your parents graduating from college. Okay. They had you when you were so young. And I'm like the youngest kid in our family, right? So there's Grandpa. He was like, he founded the Cancer Research Center at BYU, and he's got his PhD in education is his life. There's my dad, big smile on his face because he's finally pleased with his dad. Of course, if you have twins, what did my dad get his PhD in? Psychology. Okay, right? That's how you survive. Okay? And we're right here. So that's the paper plan. And we are hardwired typically from a very young age to say, go out, get that paper plan, right? Our parents will say to their kids, I want you to have that paper plan. So what do? We research out, okay, what college, what university can we, what learning experience do I need to do? And you gotta have it, because that's a credential, right? That's that first step to get in the door. And the paper plan is so important that we'll spend thousands of dollars, right? Some of you guys have just graduated, you know, if you go back and do a little calculation quickly in your room, it's really fun. Sometimes I'll take the time, I'll do like a half-day session. I'll make each table add up how much they've spent on tuition and room and board, or how much they will if they're going into college and stuff. And I've been in rooms where it's gone up over $2 million, right? In large halls, okay? Because that's how much people spend on that paper plan. Now it's important. You have to have that credential. There's some things, sometimes if you don't know or aren't certified in, you can't get an opportunity, right? But let me ask you, how are great things, how do they come together in your life? Through what? With what? People, right? And relationships. So you got to ask yourself, if it's so important that I'm going to spend thousands of dollars in executing my paper plan to get that credential, what am I doing to counterbalance that with equal investment as far as my time, effort, and focus on understanding and my ability to engage good people in my life to build that pit career or to help other people who have goals, right? Relationships that you'll have for over 15 years that'll intersect, okay? Because this is the paper plan, okay? This is the people plan, okay? Now, I went to Utah State University, as my twin brother did for the undergrad. That is not the Harvard of the West, okay? Right? But it's a good school and has a good program, okay? And we had a passion for politics, and we rolled up our sleeves and just started helping people and volunteering. And we'll talk about some of the pathways of how that happened. But if you execute a people plan in conjunction with your paper plan, you can have amazing things happen.